Before we begin, let's look at what we did yesterday. Yesterday we learned some new vocabulary words. I say, you say, and then we'll talk about the word. Ready? Blistering.
Blistering.
Citizens.
Citizens.
Equal rights.
Equal rights.
Protested.
Protested.
Segregation.
Segregation.
Blistering meant harsh and mean. So let me see your most
Harsh and mean.
let me see your most harsh and mean face. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Eyes right here. Your name. Stop, please. Citizens, people with rights. So point to yourself. People with rights. We have rights because we were born in this country. Equal rights. Equal rights. Let's make equal signs with our arms. Equal. Equal rights. That means that I have the same rights as other adults in this country. You have the same rights, Jenna, as the other children. And when you become adults, you have the same rights that all adults have. Equal rights. Everyone's the same. Protested.
Protested.
Show that you think something is wrong. And remember yesterday when we read our story, we saw the signs. So we're going to pretend like we're holding a sign saying, this is wrong.
This is wrong.
This is wrong.
This is wrong.
Alright. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Segregation.
Segregation. That's how
It's separating, just like when we do minus.
It's like this.
Separating
Just like Play-Doh.
based on color.
I'm Play-Doh. I'm making Play-Doh.
Show me. Separating
Separate.
based on color. That means white people and black people were separate. Color. All right? If you have a question, what do we have to do?
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand. Now, let's review our rules on carpet. Your eyes are looking at me or the story. You are listening. You are thinking. We do not speak unless we call. We have our hand in the air. We're called on. Do your best job. I want you to learn about Martin Luther King. Yesterday we learned about his life in Martin's big words. And we also looked at the pictures to try to figure out what the story was going to be about. Well, today we are going to read another story about Martin Luther King Jr.
Yay.
This one has some good pictures in it as well. And we should be able to make some connections between this story and that story. So as we read today, Brighton, I want you to think about what it reminds you of, what your connections are, and think about what it reminds you of from yesterday. All right? King Jr. Now, what do we call this?
Heroes.
Raise our hands.
Heroes.
Why does this look like that? Raise your hand if you have a... Abby, why does this look like this? Why does this word look like this?
Is that what I said? Heroes. Because he's a hero, and it's heroes are real.
They are. Why is it in yellow? Why is it in yellow, Lewis?
Because well, I have a connection about that.
Okay, well, hold that thought because I want to know why this word is in yellow, Jenna.
Because it's important.
It's important. Remember, when we have a story, a non-fiction story, and we have words that are either bolded, look really big, or they're highlighted in yellow, that means they're important. And when we click on this,
Heroes, people who are admired for great courage.
it tells us the definition. So a hero is someone who is admired and who exhibits great courage. All right. When we think of heroes, we think of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And here he is giving one of his speeches.
Why does that
Hold all connections and raise your hand if you have a question. Hold connections until we're done. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was an African-American man who worked hard to make life better for all Americans. Now this reminds me of yesterday whenever I saw the people holding hands and they were marching. Dr. King was born in Atlanta, Georgia in 1929. He was a very smart child. He finished high school earlier than his classmates. This says birth home of Martin Luther King Jr. So this is the actual house he lived in as a child when he was
still there?
Oh, if you did this, I'd be glad to do that. Do you have a question?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it still there?
Yes, I'm sure it is. And it still has this sign. I'm almost certain of it. Because they've made it a historical place, so it's protected.
It is?
Mhm.
Why?
Because it's important. It's the house that he lived in.
Do we get to see where is it?
It's in Atlanta.
So sometimes we can jump over. Can we go look inside it?
Yes, you can. Sure.
But you said it's protected.
It's protected from being bought and sold or torn down. So there's a group of people called like a historical society, and what they do is they keep it nice and neat, and they keep it like it was when he was a little boy.
Oh, so it remembers people of him.
That's right. It reminds people of him. It's kind of like a museum.
Oh.
But yes,
But it's
if you
not.
went to Atlanta, no, it is kind of, because it has its stuff in there, I'm sure.
Can you
If
go
you
in?
went to Atlanta, I bet you could go in and see it.
Can you go in?
All right, here we go. In college, all his life, Dr. King saw that many African Americans were treated badly just because they were black. This kind of treatment is called racism, and we learned this word. Let's see what it says.
Racism, the belief that one race of people is better than others.
For the United States at the time. African Americans were not allowed to shop in the same stores as white people. African American children were not even allowed to go to the same schools as white children.
That's kind of weird.
I know, well, because that's what the laws were like back then.
That's not fair.
Exactly. That's why Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. changed it, helped us change it.
Where is he in that picture?
Oh, I had so many people calling out that I didn't hear a good question. Madison?
What if he didn't change it?
Well, if he didn't change it, it'd still be the same. We'd not be together in our classroom.
Even you wouldn't. Are they friends?
Who knows? I might be here. I may
Oh
be
yeah, you
somewhere
might
else.
be here.
You never know.
Wait.
All right, let's continue on. Dr. King spoke to large groups of people and told them racism was wrong, because racism is wrong. He led peaceful marches through the streets. So here's another important word. Let's see what peaceful means.
Calm and quiet, not likely to fight.
Okay, peaceful means that you're not going to fight. And that's what I wanted you to learn from yesterday, is that we can use our words to help people think the way we want them to think. Do we use our hands? No, we don't force people by using our hands and putting our hands on people and hurting them. We have to use our minds and our words to help people see when things might be wrong. If we want to protest something, we have to use our words and our brains. We can't use our fists and our hands. All right. In 1963, he talked to more than 250,000 people in Washington, D.C. He said the words, "I have a dream." Dr. King's dream was to end racism. Those words became very famous. And that was part of that video that we saw yesterday. Many people do not like Dr. King. They sent him letters saying they hated him. Ready? Dr. King was brave. He never stopped trying to end racism. He asked the government to pass laws to help African Americans. So remember when Zachary reminded us about the story that the signs came down? Well, the government had to help us do that. Let's see what the government said.
Government, a group of people who make laws for a country.
So they said, well, those signs are not legal anymore. You have to take those signs down. It's not right to tell someone they can't use this restroom or they can't eat here at this facility. All right, I want you to get toe-to-toe, and I want you to have a discussion with your partner how it would feel if someone told you couldn't come to school here. Go. Right here.
No, you're supposed to be with him.
How would you feel? You said awesome. If someone said you couldn't come here and you wanted to, if you had to go to a different school because you had white skin, you would think that was awesome. Really? You still would have to go to school.
I told him that.
Yeah? You told him you still have to go to school? I'll be right there to help you out. Come back to me in 5, 4, 3. Ooh, Abby's ready. 2, 1, 0. If you thought you would feel really sad if someone said, "Hey, you can't come here anymore," give me a thumbs up. If you thought, that'd be all right, I won't care, give me a thumbs down. Okay. It'd be kind of sad. Much worse than just being sad.
Mr. Adams.
All right. Do you have something, Lewis? Yes.
Whatever.
German. My friend Lewis is speaking, so you need to look at him and listen.
the bottom one where it says of the color of their skin. That reminds me that my cousin's black.
Oh, okay. So you made a connection that your cousin has dark colored skin. Okay. Abby.
I have something wrong, but
Okay, friend.
at the school were they allowed to come in, or if it was the same skin, or would they be in like different classes about skin?
If back at this time, during this time, people that had dark skin, black skin, would have to be at a different school than people with white skin.
I thought it was like there would be brown skin from there, and then
In a different
skin
class.
in a different class.
No.
And people would go to
That's not how it was. It was different color schools. Okay, hold on. When we're done. Dr. King spent the rest of his life, Zachary, thank you, trying to end racism. He was shot in 1968, and lots of people, millions of people cried for him. Today we celebrate a holiday named for Dr. King. Martin Luther King Jr. Day is celebrated on the third Monday of January, and that's why you all had that day off.
What is she holding up? A sign. What's it?
It's a picture. There's Dr. Martin Luther King, and there's an American flag, and here he is giving one of his speeches. So she's just celebrating his life. On this day, we remember Dr. King's dream to end racism. We also remember to try to make his dream come true. All right, get toe to toe and tell your partner. Go. What do you dream of doing when you get big? You have no dreams? Oh, how sad. What do you want to do? What do you want to be when you grow up? Okay, but that's your dream, isn't it? To be a vet? What is your dream? Okay. You don't? Well, let's see if we can figure out what it is. What do you want to be when you grow up? You're yelling. You don't know? What do you like to do? What do you like to do? All right, like machines or art stuff? Machines or Wonderful. All right, then that's what you can be an engineer. Come back to me in 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm at 2, Zachary Madison. I'm at 2. 1 and 0. All right, let's talk about our dream real quick. All right, bottoms, listen. You just shared with your partner what your dream is to be. Sit. What your dream is to be. Turn around, sit, eyes up here. All right. So you're going to write in your journal, I have
A dream.
Exactly. I have a dream.
I have a dream.
Dot, dot, dot.
I have a dream.
I have a dream.
You're not.
Okay, so first thing you're going to write at the top is I have a dream. But what did I forget? What did I forget, Jenna? What did I forget at the top?
Your
Today is
And your name. I just always said the name.
well.
And your name.
Leah, if I'm writing in my journal,
Write your
Zachary,
name.
I've called your name way too many times this morning. If I'm writing in my journal, do I need to put my name at the top?
No.
No, because my name is where?
And on it.
On the front cover. All right. I have a dream. You're going to write this first, Dylan. Eyes up here. And then I want to draw you to draw a picture of what your dream is to be. This is Miss McAdams' dream, right here.
I want to help.
Okay. Raise your hand if you know what my dream is. Oh, he knows my dream. Everyone should know Miss McAdams' dream.
I know.
What's my dream, German?
I didn't want to spell alphabet and learn counting and eating.
Maybe.